Oh my good goddamn! Microsoft just dropped a nuke, affecting thousands of employees. Well, former employees. Too soon. Everyone on the internet is losing their minds, pointing the finger and blaming Microsoft and Xbox and Phil Spencer. Theories flying around all over the place. Is Xbox in trouble? Are they losing money? Are they failing? Let's talk about it. So what happened? Well, Variety informed us that following rumours of reductions that first began last week, Microsoft is set to lay off more than 9,000 employees worldwide Wednesday. 9,000! 9,000 employees losing their jobs across Microsoft. Absolute insanity.
It's over 9,000!
Including some in the Microsoft Gaming Xbox division. Variety has confirmed the number of staff impacted is under 4% of Microsoft's global workforce, which totals approximately 228,000 employees. That's 4% of Microsoft's workforce. Gone. Finito. Avada Kedavra, they're gone. Now, why would Microsoft fire 4% of their staff? Sounds like something a company would do if they were struggling, if they were losing money. So that must be the case, right? That must be the case. Xbox is fit. Hold up, wait. What? No. He said successful. And he still fired them? What? Yeah. He said successful. So no, apparently Xbox is doing fine. Phil Spencer sent a memo out to staff all about the layoffs and what it means going forward. To position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas, we will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness. There it is, the key takeaway. There is just too many people in management that are either bad at their jobs or it's just pointless them being there in the first place. In fact, them being there is actually more of a hindrance than it is effective. It's what we've talked about before. Bloat. Game studios with too much staff, which affects how quickly decisions get made. And as with any workforce, I imagine that it affects what decisions ultimately get made and how they get made. It also affects budget and how that money is spent. Wasted wages which could have been better spent elsewhere. You know, like on the game they're making. Have you noticed that a lot of games these days feel like a mishmash of ideas? The writing feels disjointed, the gameplay feels good, and then it feels bad. The tone feels off. The characters feel weird. They're safe, and it's the most NPC dialogue can be. Because these studios are so big, a lot of them do not know what the others are actually doing. And along comes Sandfall Interactive with the Game of the Year candidate right here, with a smaller budget and a 33-person team. Obviously they outsource some stuff like animations and things, I hear, but the core decisions, the art, the story, the dialogue, the quests, the characters, the gameplay, the combat were all made by this small team. They showed that you don't need 8 writers to write a quality story over a 30-hour campaign. I bet you all of that team were very hands-on with each other. Oh, no. Not in the Ubisoft way, you know. But all of them excited to see each other's work and discuss ideas with each other. You know, like the main story writer working with the side quest designer to make sure that the world they're building all makes sense. It's just more effective. Bigger teams doesn't necessarily, actually, mostly never means better quality. Now here's the kicker. They fired this many staff with the company being successful. I recognize that these changes come at a time when we have more players, games and gaming hours than ever before. Our platform, hardware and game roadmap have never looked stronger. The success we're seeing currently is based on tough decisions we've made previously. We must make choices now for continued success in future years, and a key part of that strategy is the discipline to prioritize the strongest opportunities. We will protect what is thriving and concentrate effort on areas with the greatest potential, while delivering on the expectations the company has for our business. This focused approach means we can deliver exceptional games and experiences for players for generations to come. So if you're not getting what Phil Spencer's putting down here, it's this. We were successful, not because of you, but in spite of you, and we're going to carry on being successful without you now. You're welcome. But is this true? They wouldn't lay off this many people if they were successful, right? They should be hiring more people. Success breeds success. Open more studios. Hire more staff. Make more games. They obviously are just losing money. Well, Microsoft's revenue for the 12 months ending March 31st, 2025 was $270 billion, a 14.13% increase from last year. I don't know about you, but personally, I wouldn't mind a $270 billion year. That would be pretty nice. To be honest, I would just be happy with not worrying about bills anymore. But that's Microsoft, not Xbox, right? We don't care about Microsoft, we care about the games. What is going on with Xbox? Well, we don't know how many were laid off in the gaming division, but we do know it doesn't make up the majority of layoffs, and we know that their gaming division make up 9% of Microsoft's overall income. So if they made 270 billion, Xbox is contributing about 24 billion to that number. All this billion talk is depressing me. Damn, billions. What would I do with a billion?
Bunch of hookers and cocaine.
We also know their gaming revenue was up 5% over the January-March quarter, reaching 5.7 billion sales. Content and service sales increased 8%, which they contribute to Game Pass. Game Pass has reached 35 million subscribers, but the growth has slowed significantly, and we don't know if this is all-time subscribers or continuous subscribers, you know? Although hardware revenue is down 6%, which isn't a surprise, their consoles haven't been selling all that well for a while. I just want to be clear, I'm not a current-day fan of Xbox. I do not like Game Pass, good value, but I don't like the idea behind it. Not a fan. No, not a fan. Not a fan of what it could mean long term. I especially do not like what Xbox is doing with their games. Halo is a shadow of itself. No, wait. It's a rainbow-colored shadow of itself. Constantly virtue signaling. Gears of War. Does anyone even remember what happened in Gears of War 4 and 5? Because I don't. Fable. Well, put a chick in it and make it lame and make it gay. Shutting down studios like Tango Gameworks, who made the masterpiece that is The Evil Within. My good God, this game's a masterpiece. A survival horror masterpiece. Ah, what a game. So believe me, I would love to point and laugh and say, ha ha ha, you get what you deserve. But from the figures, it seems like Big Phil Spencer here is telling the truth. They are currently successful. Not in all areas, mind you. Phil Spencer, by the way, what do you think he was doing on the day of the layoffs? Was he meeting with team leaders about the plans for the future? Ho ho ho! That was one hell of an email. Time to play some Indiana Jones. You know what I'm saying? Apparently that's what he was doing. With all that being said, Microsoft must feel the same way I do. It's not good enough. I believe it's $7 billion less than PlayStation made. Even with Game Pass and all the games they've been making, which really must piss Microsoft off. After all, you don't really want to be losing to your rivals, do you? And they've been losing to them for a while. And let's be honest, PlayStation have done next to nothing. Looking back on it, I think Xbox fumbled the most important generation of console.
Television, TV. Xbox is about to become the next water cooler.
The PS4 Xbox One era. They fumbled that hard and have been clawing their way back ever since. Xbox also paid a lot of money for these studios and IPs, and to see them flop must be infuriating. I think Xbox and Microsoft are taking a more ruthless approach. You don't provide us with value? Have fun on the job market. There has been cuts at studios like Raven Software, who I believe are the ones in control of Warzone, which isn't doing great. High Moon and Sledgehammer have also been affected. Turn 10 Studios behind the Forza series lost nearly 50% of its staff. The Blizzard team behind Warcraft Rumble is being gutted and reorganized. I don't even know what Warcraft Rumble is. The state of World of Warcraft, by the way, is embarrassing. I thought this IP made millions. Why does it still look like it's being made in 2006? Oh, don't worry, we'll talk about the woke infection too. Halo Studios has seen layoffs. So let's ask an important question. If these studios can still run without all of this staff, how important were these staff in the first place? I'd argue not very. Oh wait, it's not just layoffs. No. We've got entire games that have been completely shut down and studios that have been closed, or Studio Rare lost some staff, but their game Everwild was cancelled. That game is really rare now, huh? Oh, come on, that was good. That was good. Reported to have been in development for 10 years. 10 years! Oh my God. Honestly, lucky to have made it 10 years. If it was me in charge, they would have been gone a long time ago. A new MMO being developed by ZeniMax Online Studios, the studio behind Elder Scrolls Online. That MMO was cancelled after 7 years in development. At this point, Microsoft are just being scammed. And Perfect Dark. You guys remember the suck-ass trailer for that, don't you? Oh yeah. And the game designer saying gamers were a mistake and racist pigs. Yeah, that got cancelled. And I'm personally gutted because I've lost out on the opportunity to play that game, call it trash on the internet, and get called a loser because I've told people the truth. It's a sad day. Some people are really upset about this. Really? If I wasn't doing this channel, I couldn't care less. I probably wouldn't even know that it was being made. I probably would have forgotten about it. Who cares? Essentially, Microsoft and Xbox have trimmed the fat. Employees and projects that they didn't see as valuable are gone, and they still have 40 projects in development. So the real question, the one thing you really want to know, what does it mean for you, the customer? Does this mean that Halo is going to be good, that Gears is going to be good, that Fable is going to be good, that Xbox is going to make great games again? No, they're not going to get better now. At least I don't see any evidence to say that it will get better. What I see is evidence that the problem of bloated staff teams and the problem of staff in positions of power that they should be nowhere near, I see that problem as being resolved. Well, at the very least, working to resolve it, I hope. I think that will result in a more efficient workforce for Xbox. Hopefully, less dumb decisions being made by management, because a lot of those management positions are gone. I don't think that makes these studios all of a sudden good. I've got no reason to believe that Halo Studios all of a sudden knows how to make a good Halo game, when the community manager is more concerned with virtue signaling to a different section of the gay community every month. How about something from Halo to get people back in who have been gone for a while, Any of that? How about some news to get excited about? How about a trailer, a teaser trailer, or just a new multiplayer mode? One more game, one more chance. That's all they have, and then this studio is gone, abolished, and they'll be replaced. Halo should be making way more money than it is. It is supposed to be a console seller, and it's not. Did any PlayStation players look at Halo Infinite with jealousy? No, absolutely not, no. One more chance and that studio is gone. Give it to someone else, man. They should have given it to someone else years ago. Look at World of Warcraft. For the love of God, man! Why does it look like that? Why does this fight look like a battle of the Karens? Why is there a magical wheelchair that floats? At that point, why do you need the chair? You have magic. Use it. When I was a console player, I always wanted to play World of Warcraft. I always felt like it was something I was missing out on. Now, after several years of having a PC, I couldn't care less. I haven't even looked at it, not once. The state of the Fable trailers, the state of Obsidian, all those trash woke games they've made that didn't sell or just didn't bring in new players to Game Pass. Now, do you think the top guys at Microsoft or Xbox are asking those questions that I just asked about Halo or World of Warcraft? Do you think they're sitting across the table asking the important questions? So, why is everything lame and gay? What's that about? Is that making us any money? No, of course they're not asking that. No activists were harmed in those layoffs. If there were, we would have heard all about it on Blue Sky. Until we see Xbox address those issues, I do not see a big surge in quality or sales because people are just not interested in it. That clip of World of Warcraft went viral, which should be a clear message to Xbox and Blizzard that the IP is still popular, people are still interested in it, but not in its current state, and they are showing you exactly what they don't like and you're ignoring them for a virtue signal. Oh, and here's proof that Xbox aren't addressing that. Compulsion Games is still kicking. Oh, that's right, despite having some of the worst Steam numbers I have ever seen from a Game Pass title, it is still going. One thing is for certain though, you lucky customers out there, $80 games. Huh? Looking forward to those? Now, the reaction from the internet was, as you can expect, to pile on Xbox. Xbox is failing. Game Pass has failed. Game Pass is awful. Xbox is killing games. The console wars continue. I look down on your petty war. I get it, I do. Be upset that they cancelled something that you were excited for. Or be upset that studios you liked are now gone. I get that it looks bad, and it looks bad on Microsoft for letting Xbox to get in such a state in the first place. But they're not failing, and they're not struggling. Their games have sucked. Yes, absolutely, except for a few. I liked Doom. Doom was good. They literally have just cut off the dead weight, which is a step in the right direction. Just please keep stepping, Microsoft, just a few more steps in the right direction. Game Pass isn't going anywhere. It's still a success, unfortunately. There is still work that Xbox needs to do, and I just can't see them doing it. Their sales should be doing better. Their flagship titles should be doing better. Their console sales should be better. A lot of what they're doing should be better. But I expect more bad games. I expect to see more wokeness resulting in less sales for Xbox. I expect them to turn a blind eye to the activism in their company. I hope I'm wrong. I do. I really, really do. I hope that we get great games and we're not being lectured constantly or being called bad people. I want creatives that aren't being censored and we get less of the message.
The message.
Boys, press X to doubt. 70 billion for Activision Blizzard. Oh my God. And look at the state of them. I mean, it's impressive that Xbox has managed to be as successful as it is, honestly. Future me now. Just quickly on the articles about Microsoft laying people off for AI, while I definitely see that as a possibility in other sectors for Microsoft, with Xbox it was a lot of management positions, so I don't think that it's the case for the Xbox layoffs, although it does suck for those who have been replaced by AI at Microsoft. Thanks for watching, boys. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Are Xbox completely done? Or are they back? I'll see you in the next one, boys.